Good morning. Today we are discussing about spectroscopy. Spectroscopy is a technique which deals with the transitions that a molecule undergoes between its energy levels upon absorption or emission of suitable radiations. Or we can say that the spectroscopy is the study of interaction of electromagnetic radiations with matter. And what are electromagnetic radiations? Electromagnetic radiations have electric and magnetic fields that are mutually perpendicular to the wave propagation. And we also know about electromagnetic series, that is, the electromagnetic radiations are arranged in increasing order of frequency or decreasing order of wavelength. Here we are representing an electromagnetic spectrum. Here we can see that these electromagnetic radiations are arranged in the order of increasing energy or decreasing wavelength. And the electromagnetic radiations are radio waves, microwaves, infrared rays, visible rays, UV rays, X-rays and gamma rays. And then what are the characteristics of a wave? We know that these waves are represented by the wave motion is characterized by its wavelength, which is a distance between two successive crests or two successive troughs. Okay, then each wave motion has a frequency, also an energy associated with the wave motion, and the energy is related to the wave number or the wave. Energy is related to frequency as E is equal to h nu, or this frequency is inversely proportional to wavelength, and also energy is sometimes expressed in terms of wave number. Wave number is nothing but the reciprocal of wavelength. Okay, now let us see different types of spectra, the width and intensity of spectral lines. Consider two molecular energy levels En and Em. When a photon of frequency h nu or nu falls on a molecule in the ground state, its energy h nu is exactly equal to the energy difference between Em and En. Then the molecule undergoes a transition from lower energy level to the higher energy level with the absorption of a photon of energy h nu. The spectrum thus obtained is called the absorption spectrum. If the molecule falls from the excited state to the ground state with the emission of a photon of energy h nu, the spectrum obtained is called the emission spectrum. Then other the spectra resulted from atoms are known as line spectra, and that is generated by molecules are known as molecular spectra, otherwise known as band spectra. Then when we analyze the spectrum of a molecule, the first thing we wish to know is how sharp and how intense is the spectral line. Two factors contribute to the broadening of spectral lines, that is, collision broadening and Doppler broadening. Collision broadening is largely responsible for width of spectral lines in UV visible region. These transitions mostly takes place between between the electrons in the outer shell in a molecule. When a molecule in gaseous or liquid phase collide with each other, they deform the charged cloud of the outer electrons, thereby slightly perturbing the energy levels of these electrons. Hence, the spectral transitions between these perturbed energy levels are broadened. The second cause for broadening of spectral lines is Doppler broadening. The Doppler broadening arises when the molecule under investigation has a velocity relative to the observer or observing instrument towards or away from the measuring instrument. Depending upon the direction of motion of the molecule relative to the instrument, the observed frequency becomes either higher or lower than the actual radiation frequency. There is also the natural line width. There is also a cause for natural line width, which is the consequence of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Then another important term while we are considering the spectra, or while we are interpreting the spectra, is the intensity of spectral lines. Intensity of spectral lines is determined by Boltzmann population of energy levels, the transition probability between the energy levels, then Beer-Lambert's law and selection rules. According to Boltzmann, if at a temperature T, N0 is the number of molecules in the ground state, then the number of molecules N in the excited state is given by N is equal to N0 into e raised to minus delta E by kT, or we can write it as N by N0 is equal to e raised to minus delta E by kT, where K is known as the Boltzmann constant. N by N0 is known as relative population at equilibrium. If delta E is large, N by N0 is small. That is, the number of molecules in the excited state is less than that in the ground state. The another important term is transition probability, which means that the probability of transition between two given energy levels. The third is Beer-Lambert's law, that is, which states that when a beam of monochromatic radiation of suitable frequency passes through a solution, it is absorbed by the solution. As a result, the intensity of light when it finally emerges from the solution is considerably reduced. The molecular spectra are governed by the so-called selection rules, which specify the changes in the quantum numbers accompanying a particular transition. The selection rules, however, are not always obeyed strictly. The spectral transitions which obey a given selection rule are called allowed transitions, whereas those who violate a selection rule are called forbidden transitions. In general, allowed transitions are more intense than the forbidden transitions, which are generally weak. Now, we will discuss about molecular spectra. In contrast to the atomic spectra which arise from the transition of an electron between atomic energy levels, the molecular spectra arise from three types of transitions, namely rotational transitions, vibrational transitions and electron transitions. According to Born-Oppenheimer approximation, total energy of a molecule can be regarded as the sum of its translational energy, rotational energy, vibrational energy and electronic energy, and these translation energies are not quantized and the value is very small also. Okay, and furthermore, this electronic energy is much higher than vibration energy, and which is higher than rotational energy, and which is also higher than, or we can say that this translational energy is much lesser than this rotational energy. Therefore, we can rewrite this Born-Oppenheimer approximation as E total is equal to E rotational plus E vibrational plus E electronic. Now, let us see these various energy levels of a simple diatomic molecule. Here, we can see two electronic energy levels. First one is electronic ground state and the other one is electronic excited state. We can say that here that each electronic ground states are populated by a series of vibration energy levels. Sorry. And each vibration energy levels are populated by different or various rotational energy levels. And since the energy required for rotational transitions are much smaller than that required for vibrational transition, which in turn smaller than that required for electronic transitions, these molecular spectra of molecules appear as a band spectrum. That means accompanied by each electronic transitions, there occurs these vibrational transitions as well as rotational transitions. And these rotations, since the energy for rotational transitions are small, it appears in the microwave region. Therefore, these rotational spectra are also known as microwave spectra. And vibrational energy requires much higher energy than these rotational transitions. Therefore, it appears in the infrared region of electromagnetic spectrum. Therefore, it is also known as IR spectra. The electronic transition requires much higher energy which fall in the UV visible region. Therefore, these electronic spectra are also known as UV visible spectra. Conclusion. In this presentation, we understood about spectroscopy, electromagnetic radiations, how we are arranging these electromagnetic radiations, and the different types of spectrum and various molecular motions that give rise to a molecular spectrum. These are the references. Thank you for listening.